My first big data science failure, and this one was really impactful on me. This is a true story about how I learned more from one single failed project in data science than 100 other successes that I had. So I was working for this company called Ingredion. They're a big Fortune 500 company. You may have never heard of them because because they're not customer facing, they're business to business, but what they do is they sell ingredients throughout the world, and they do like 8 billion a year in revenue. So I was working with them on this project, and it was kind of a crazy project. They had it was an HR, human resources, and they were looking into things that they needed for a big presentation to their CEO that was coming up, and they wanted to show that they were migrating into data analytics. And it was something they had reached out to me. At that point in time, I was doing consulting engagements, mainly with smaller financial companies. And they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we got this data. We really want your help to analyze it for us and see if we can come up with some predictive insights." They gave me the data on a Friday. They expected results very quickly. And I provided a report that Monday. I worked the whole way through the weekend. I even hired a guy out of Houston, Texas, who was a specialist in HR to work with me. So we could produce a nice fancy data science report and give them predictive insights that they could explain to their management team or their leadership team. The problem was I ended up focusing way too much on data science. I started spending all this time on all these algorithms and models, and I was using all this fancy tools, and I neglected the more important stuff, which was like, what do we need to know about this problem? Who do we need to involve? Things like stakeholders. What are the KPIs or the key performance indicators? And how can we measure the size of any problem that we identify? So I ended up giving them this fancy report, and the worst thing in the world happened to me. I delivered it on Monday to the director and the VP that was in charge of this data set. And they were in HR. They knew nothing about data science. And I gave them this 10-page report on the algorithm that we used, and, our classification metrics, and, how many people we thought could be projected for potential management that they weren't currently targeting, and this and that, things that I thought were important, and classification rates and stuff. And it was dead silence. And that's like, when you give a presentation, you never want to hear just like dead silence on the other end of the phone or on the other end of the Zoom call. And that was, kind of a horrifying experience. I even got a phone call later on after that from the director, who's my point of contact. And she said, "Yeah, it didn't go over well. Like the VP is not going to use any of your information. It was a big waste of time." And I felt horrible. I mean, I had just spent a lot of time, but I felt like I really wanted to do good by them. So I sat back and I kind of figured out, over the next 2 weeks, I stopped, working on any consulting engagements. I really wanted to figure out why I failed so hard at this problem or at this project. And then it came to me. So I didn't have like a step-by-step process. And the step-by-step process would become so important to me that it ended up virtually taking the likelihood of success, which was probably like a 40 or 50% success rate with my consulting engagements, and and the repeat customers, would end up getting much higher rates. But the framework made it 99% likely for me to succeed. And it's a special framework that I came up with. It's called the Business Science Problem Framework. I'm going to actually flip over to, and I want to show you what this framework looks like. It's in my book, my ebook, Everything You Should Know About. It's right here, chapter 2, on page 39. So let me see if I can just scroll to that real quick. So the Business Science Problem Framework, it looks like this. And basically what it is a 7-stage process that takes you the full way through solving a problem. And I cover it in my book here in much length, but I will give you the mistakes that I was making So, and this is what all data scientists do. I feel like all data scientists, we run into this. We want to get to doing data science. We want to do the algorithms. We want to do the code. We want to jump into it. And that's in the stage 5. And believe me, you get there, but there's 4 other stages before that. And then 2 stages after that I was completely missing. So there's 7 stages in here. Basically, in a nutshell, it focuses on stakeholders, identifying costs of the problem, measuring KPIs or key performance indicators, collecting data, how to do that effectively, how to involve the right people, how to work leadership into that process. And then once you have all those kind of set up for the business project, then you jump into encoding algorithms once you have a foundation laid and have the right people involved. And then the key components on the end of it was measuring results and reporting a return on investment. So that's what this framework does. It's on page 39 of my ebook. So if you're looking at learning more, I've got some next steps for you. You can definitely check out my ebook. I'll leave a link in the video. You can purchase it. It's only $1. I made it super affordable for everybody. And it's just basically everything that you should already know about data science. You can check out the business science problem framework. It's on page 39 of that book. All right, I will catch you guys later.